Today we're going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and I hope that it helps you as much as it has helped me, and that is decluttering to help you to release grief and process grief in your life so that you can thrive after experiencing any sort of loss. And in life, especially lately, there has been a lot of loss and a lot of talk of grief and a lot of collective grief. And this energy can get into your entire environment. You may actually have objects that remind you of a time of great loss. And every time you see them, you're brought back to that place and brought back to those emotions. And today we're going to talk about freeing yourself from the heaviness of that grief. There's beauty in every emotion. And in this series, I'm not trying to have you deny any emotion, but it's always my goal to help people lift themselves higher. And by decluttering and really focusing on things that can help you specifically with emotions you've been dealing with, it can be quite extraordinary. And in my experience, this is one of the things that can support you, that can be a missing link, something you didn't notice before, that can help you to really lift your life higher. So before I go further, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Claudat. I'm a modern Feng Shui master and founder of the School of Intention, which is an entire method of Feng Shui and school of Feng Shui, unlike anything else in the world. This work is super creative. It is actually based on awakening your creativity, allowing you to live with more infinite possibility, and bring your biggest intentions to life, your wishes, dreams, and desires, by deliberately shaping your environment in amazing ways. Today, as we talk about grief, something that has defined my life this year, I can tell you that there is nothing more important when you're going through grief than to start by releasing as many objects that remind you of a traumatic time as possible from your space. I'm not suggesting that you let go of things that remind you of people or places or events that are sentimental and important to you. It's quite the opposite. I'm asking you to look through your home and see if there are any things that remind you of a time that was less than supportive or awesome. So to give you an example, I still have all of Bob's fun things. I have all of his toys, I have all of his fun things, and I know that he will eventually send me another little angel that will carry on his legacy and enjoy all of those things. But immediately when he passed away, my friends carried out of my house a pile of things that reminded me of him not being well. And I have to say that was probably the most important thing that I did to be able to even sleep again, to be able to even breathe again. I didn't want to see or have any contact with those things. And then I found more of them, and then I found more of them. And so I gathered them all up and I donated them immediately the next day. And then I gathered up more and donated it immediately the day after. And that was when my healing process could actually begin. With that stuff, I never would have been able to move forward. So I just want to start by saying it is so hard to do this that you may need friends, you may need other people to help, but I will say that the rewards are enormous. As soon as I let that stuff go, I started receiving messages from Bob. When I had this happen with other people and other events in my life, when I let the stuff go that reminded me of those events that I was grieving, immediately I started to get feedback from the universe that was positive. And that to me is so incredibly inspiring. To give you another example, I had a client who had a horrible divorce and it left her absolutely devastated. But when she decided to let go of a lot of things from her bedroom, including her divorce papers, which were carefully, pristinely tucked away, she met her new husband, who's amazing. And it was such a joy to be able to work with both of them together just a few years later. So this to me is the silver lining in all of this. Unfortunately, grief is a part of our growth. And I wish it wasn't, but it is. And if you want to really honor all the experiences that you've had, let go of any pieces of stuff that drag you down. Now, another big piece of this is to dust more often. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but grief has a lot to do with our lungs. In traditional Chinese medicine, grief has a lot to do with the lungs. And when you dust, you are actually detoxifying your space, and you are eliminating anything that stops you from fully being able to embrace the grieving process so that you can grow. And so after any kind of loss, if you start dusting and dusting, even as a practice every day for a little while until you start feeling better and better, it can be a phenomenal support in so many ways. And your sparkling space really supports you. It helps you to feel so much better. In addition, if you let go of any of the dust magnets or anything that feels very deteriorated in your space, that will also help you immensely. You want to have thriving energy around you. If you have artificial flowers and artificial plants, clean them. If they can't be cleaned, consider getting rid of them and maybe just getting some flowers or getting a plant every once in a while, because you don't want that heavy, stuck, lingering energy in your space. You want thriving energy. Same thing with replacing any plants that have been sort of deteriorating over time, which is something that I've seen in these times of transition. Sometimes your plants can take a hit. And if you can't rehabilitate them, see if you can replace some of these plants or give the plants that need rehabilitation to friends who are good at doing that and replace them with some thriving plants in your space. Surround yourself with more of this thriving energy. This whole period of decluttering can help you to release and process so many emotions, and it can also help you to step into higher levels of power after a loss. On that note, if you try this and it helps, please let me know. And if you have questions, comments, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and do not forget to sign up below for the free Feng Shui decluttering video class, which is starting soon. It is over an hour of next level Feng Shui, and it is so exciting. I love going through this series with you every year, and you won't want to miss it. So you'll find that in the description box. And there's so many videos on this channel for you to explore. I'll be back very soon with more. Bye.